Here it is. I'm back again, y'all. Lee Majors, far as talking about in regards of flipping your money and the stock market. So I'm gonna be touching on an array of stuff on this one. Hopefully you got the last video where I talked about as far as the collective of building all these sections to put your money in, as far as the blueprint. First, I want to explain about the blueprint. You have to make plans where you're gonna put your money at. All right. It's always about thinking ahead. Okay. And you have a lot of other people out there that explain this shit, but I'm gonna break it down as simple as possible, so that way that you can actually understand. And I mean, pretty much you can work with any amounts of money or whatever. I mean, it doesn't take a lot in order to get a lot. When you know the game and when you know how to structure everything. All it takes is time, patience, and the discipline to reach your goal and not fuck with what you got planned set and not fuck yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have a lot of different habits, Most of the time, people will, if you got a habit of smoking, if you got a habit of drinking, if you got a habit of spending money on impulse, people don't check their habits. That's why they can't never save anything, or they never could, they never could reach their goal or anything. But when you really want something done, you would fast and sacrifice for that. And the money is there to do so. And I tell people all the time, watch where every dollar goes. And it's not being cheap with yourself. So you got people that say, oh, well, yeah, he's cheap or whatever. No, you have to watch where every dollar go at. You have to watch where every dollar go at. And this is what I mean by money management. Before you can even be rich, you have to understand that if you can't manage a small amount of money, then there's no way. And this is why you got a lot of athletes. This is why you got a lot of rappers. This is why you got a lot of business owners that don't last for long, because they don't know how to manage their money, or they stingy with the business. They don't understand that the business is an entity that conducts service or whatever, So you have to always constantly put money back into that, It's not like if you wanted to grow some potatoes or if you got a garden or whatever, right? It ain't like that you go out there and you buy soil and you dig up the ground. It's a certain amount of maintenance activity that has to go into that. First and foremost, you have to make sure you water the shit. Then you get fertilizer for the shit. Then you put the necessary minerals to keep the plant strong. Then you have to make sure, that you ain't got shit out there that's going to eat your crops and shit up. So it's all about how much you take care of these things, in order to get the best quality a result that you actually want. All right. So I tell people all the time, how much do you want to invest in? It could be any amount. And from that amount, you flip that. You put in 10, you want to make 50. So that's what you do. You make your 50, you want to make another 100, you put back in 30. So every 30 or 40 you make, you understand what I'm saying? You keep that, stack that to the side, and you just let it comprise and compile. I did speak on earlier about the percentages of how to break down the money to where as though it takes care of an array of things. All right, and to kind of slow pace yourself with and putting in these monies in all these categories that handle business for you. See, now what's going on is that now your money is protecting you. Okay? It's covering all your bases. You understand what I'm saying? And the only thing that you could do now is now you can focus and walk up front, and you can focus on doing what? Pure hustling. Making your business thrive. Forcing the activity. Making sure that y'all selling or doing whatever it is that y'all do to the fullest, to its most maximum potential. So you don't have to fall back and do other things to get a budget for this or budget for that, because you already took the time out to build all of these things. So we talking about, prepping. You know what I'm saying? When you prep for your business, you know what I mean? You already have money for a lawyer because you have an account that you've been saving for the past 5 years, you know what I'm saying, for lawyer money. You know, here in these United States, you always have to be prepared and always have to set money aside to protect yourself. If you look at it, I mean, not too many Americans, man, got money in the bank if shit go wrong. And they ain't even in the bank. They don't have nothing to fall back on for emergencies. And you cannot rely on the government, your family, or anybody else as an individual. Even though they have a service to do too, but you always want to look out for your own ass. And this is what I'm talking about by personal discipline. By having a personal standard with yourself. You always have to look out for you as the individual at the end of all of this shit. You always want to make sure that, you know, as a man, you want to make sure that you prepared for most things. You ain't gonna cover everything, but goddamn it, I mean, financially, if you think of what you can think of, if shit do go down, it won't be as hard as if you didn't plan at all. I'm just saying. So we have to think about these things. We have to fucking go on ahead as young business owners or as people that work for ourselves. As time goes on, a lot of jobs are going to be lost. You know what I'm saying? Technology is taking over a lot of shit. And right now, if we don't get this, you know, as my people, if we don't get this shit together right now, there's going to be a lot of motherfuckers that's going to be ass the fuck out. You understand what I'm saying? And I hope and I pray that y'all subscribe and take heed to these different messages because I'm on the front lines with y'all out here every fucking day. I work every day. Don't have to, but I mean, I still do because that's what a man is supposed to do. That's what a man is supposed to do. I've always, like I said, I've always been good with putting shit away and taking care of myself or whatever. It's never me. I would never fuck me over. I'm always going to look out for myself. I'm always going to keep a military mind. And keeping a military mind doesn't mean you have to be in the fucking military. It means using your resources to this most maximum efficient potential as much as possible. Whether you get paid $9 an hour or $1 an hour. And that's what I'm good at doing. What I'm good at doing is I'm good at fixing problems. That's what I'm good at doing. That's what I get paid to do. Fix problems. That's what I get paid to do is to fix your motherfucking financial problem. Why? Because guess what? If we write everything down, we collect every receipt. If we look at all the analytical shit that you do throughout the month, I'm going to make you mad because it's a lot of shit that I'm going to cut off and then I'm going to show you the price of what you're spending that you don't even fucking see. Because you have potential money that could be made and then you have money that you're making and wasting that you're not even seeing. Due to your habits. And you know, you got people out there that want to run a business, that want to do business, but don't know what that, when you sit in the business seat, what that entails. Everybody want to be a CEO. Everybody want to be king. Everybody want this, but they don't understand that when you are sitting in that seat, you are a problem solver. A boss is a problem solver. You know how much money I shove out to people, how much money I fucking pay out to people? That shit is really real. It ain't just about me. I pay myself too. But when shit got to get done, you going to come out of the pocket. I come out of the pocket every month to make sure that shit has to stay working because that is the maintenance function, you know, that has to be done for the whole company plus the household and all of that other shit. That's why I have all these array accounts. That's where the poster board and all that shit comes in at. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that I manage all these things very well. I'm talking about all the way down to the motherfucking nickel. And people be like, oh, you tight, oh, you cheap. No, it ain't being cheap. See, for one, I don't waste money. You know what I mean? And I say this, people waste money. Shit adds up. I see it all the time. People throwing shit on the ground. Shit adds up. I will put anybody to the test. Shit adds up. And you'd be surprised how much money that you actually spending when it could have went into the business, or you could have flipped that, you know what I'm saying, 5 or 6 times and made 10 times more, and what you wasting on the shit that you actually doing. Because you're not paying attention. Motherfuckers ain't paying attention. If you pay for all the basic necessities, and along with doing that, and you taking a little bit, because it don't take that much to start investing, just a little bit. And you remember on the last joint I told you, $265 a month, that's 2 cartons of cigarettes. And over time, 5 years of doing that shit is not going to affect your living. 5 years of that, that's $15,900. As it snowball, it will take a life of its own. But you can keep doing that. Now imagine doing that for 30 years. Just a couple $100 for 30 years. There go your fucking retirement right there. It's as easy as I'm saying it, but society don't allow it to come across that simple. That's why you have to be in the mix. In order to know business, you have to jump in it. You got to jump into business. When you do business, you have to jump in it. When you start a business, you have to start. Every successful business owner, I mean, you have school and shit far as the standard quote unquote, you know, administration shit that you learn. But for real, I mean, come on, man. They're not really teaching you the real shit, because it's based on human relationship and going back and forth, and the services that you have to conduct for people when you start out as a independent, between corporate and independent and shit. And even corporate has had to start out as an independent. They went corporate because they built their staff. They had a company of people. They got 600, 700, 800 people working for them. So they can afford to do more shit at a broader scale. And they backed by all these other companies and shit. But before, you know, when they start out as a family business, it was something different. They was willing to take the risk. You know, it was a lot of things that was going on from a guerrilla marketing point of view and from a guerrilla set point of view, a grassroots. When I say guerrilla marketing, I mean grassroots, from the ground up, community based. So you got 4 different type of economies. You got the household economy. You got the economy, you know what I'm saying, far as the community. You got the economy far as the county. And then you got the economy far as the state. And the community economy is when you go out and spend money in the community. The house economy is when you spend money in the house. You have to be able to master all 4. And people is not really taking heed to that. You know, the government wants you to open up a business and conduct service because you're helping them. That's why you get a tax benefit off of that shit. All right, so everything helps everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything helps the habitat of everything. It's a financial ecosystem with everything. You have to understand the actual system. So, you know, I move on to say, you know, that people have to understand how to manage the money. Because without managing, you can't, there's no sense of you getting rich if you can't manage that shit. There's no sense of you getting rich. You'll be fucking yourself up. You'll be one of them I wish I coulda woulda niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I made prime example, right? And I say this again, and I always go back to myself because I followed these principles. I was successful, you know, with, you know, comprising and compiling my money or whatever. You know what I mean? That's one of the things I never let nobody see me, you know, do that. I was always good with that. And I always stood fast within sitting on various different amounts of money, because I always was looking towards what the fuck is going to happen 10 months from now. Some people don't think like that. So this is why we build these graphs and we do all of this, and you have to have a blueprint. You have to have a blueprint for your money and what your money is going to do for you. All right? I give you a prime example. If you pay your rent up for 6 months, all right, your rent is freed up. If you pay your phone bill up, those are stocks to me. Your stock market is your house and whatever it takes for your house to function. That's a stock market. You're supposed to pay that up. If you put the first 80%, 3 months, for 3 months, you free yourself up for the rest of the year. If you put 80% of what you made the first 90 days into your crib, you don't have to pay for your basic necessities for the rest of the year because it doesn't cost that much. You understand what I'm saying? Besides the car note and all that other extra shit, I'm talking about the basic necessities, which is food, clothes, health and beauty products, the basic shit that you need to live. Breathe. It does not cost that much when you look at it. What costs a lot is all the extra shit that you want to do. That's the extra strawberries on the shit. And some of the time, what you want ain't good for what you need right now. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When you can pay your rent 3 months ahead of time, then you on your way. If you can't pay your phone bill 3 months ahead of time, if you can't pay the electric bill 3 months ahead of time, if you can't pay your food, 3 months, as far as 3 months worth of food, your priorities are all set wrong, young. You doing a month-to-month shit. You're not comprising and compounding and making your money work for you. Because one of the things that I wanted to talk about, for one, is the blueprint. For two, is the inventory. All right, one thing helps the other thing. By us paying up all the bills at the house, we are able to put more into the fucking business. By us putting more into the business, all right, we make a bigger profit. You see how the shit works together? By us making a bigger profit, I'm able to invest more into my other portfolio sectors of what I got going on as far as the stock market, as far as insurance policies, and as far as all the extracurricular activities that I got going on out here. Maybe if I want to do a show or something like that, or if I wanted to, throw a gathering or speak somewhere or whatever it may be. If I needed to put $200,000-$300,000 into a family member or business or something, yeah, or to buy more product. See, inventory, if you got inventory, you're never ever fucking broke if you got inventory. And I just want to let that be known. So if you got inventory, you're never ever fucking broke. You always got something that you could turn into liquid. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is that you want enough cash around to where as though that you can actually take care and pay whoever you need to get something done just like that. You understand? So that's another thing. The blueprint and inventory is what we need to focus on. All right. And taking care of the house. 80% for 90 days will have you good for the rest of the year. If you pay that up, you'll be ahead of the game. You'll be ahead of the game, and that will snowball, and it will knock stuff down. You won't have to worry about no groceries. If you ain't worried about no groceries, no light bill, no phone bill, you know what I'm saying? Then guess what? And no rent, you can pay your car note up. This is the beauty of paying your bills up months at a time, because it snowballs into that. And even though it may take you 3 to 4 months to get this shit done, it will free you up for the rest of the year. Think about that. So you pay all these things ahead of time. No going out, sacrifice all that shit to pay that up ahead of time. Like I said, when we were in college, what did we do? We paid our room and board up for the semester. Who the fuck says that we can't do that in the work world? When you do that, you can invest into the stock market. When you do that, you can invest into various different things that you got going on. You leave breathing room for you to work on your art when you do that. And, back in the day, this is what I used to try to explain to people too. A lot of things I'm going to discuss and talk about when I used to get into arguments with my partners or whatever, on things of what I saw and what they did not see, and the things that they're experiencing now. Always save a fourth or a third of what you make, because you have to keep the money moving. And sometimes it's just about containing and solving problems and maintaining your survival level and your way of living through a situation than to oppose to being stingy with yourself. You know what I'm saying? I could have bought a lot of cars and shit like that, but I invested into my daughter. I have a daughter. I got 2 grandsons. I invested into my daughter to take care of my child. Fuck a car. I'm not going to buy a car. That's like purchasing a whole nother human being. Why would I do that? To me, business-wise, it didn't make no fucking sense. Because she got to eat. She has to have some type of stability and shit like that, right? All right. So I paid the nigga to drive me around. You understand what I'm saying? To handle my business and shit. Which it knocked out 2 birds with 1 stone, because me myself, I didn't have to handle the expense of being driven, the maintenance of the vehicle. And this is sometimes how you have to think. You have to know the future cost of things. If I purchase this shit now, will it benefit? Is it going to be taking money away from me, or is it going to make me money? So we have to also worry about potential costs. Some of the time you can pay 1 flat fee with something, right? And that'll be that. And you won't lose nothing. It'll be what it is as far as at that point right there. So your $100, if you pay $115 for something, that'll be, if it's worth that $115, that'll be that. But then you got stuff that, okay, if you pay $115 for, can you make another $300 or $400 off of? Can you do that? I'll give you a prime example. The summertime, right? Outside the barbershop, I would, clean the barber's cars or whatever, right? Because I manage a barbershop or whatever. I do maintenance work. Far as a contractor for a black-owned business, Crown Royal. So basically, on my downtime, I would just go outside, and I bought this. A wife had bought me this little Daredevil vacuum cleaner, and I ain't think nothing of it. I went to the dollar store and I got some cleaning products and shit like that, and just to work on my leg strength, I was sitting a horse stance and shit. You know what I'm saying? To strengthen my legs. I know it sounds weird or whatever, but as a martial artist, we always training on some shit, even when we cleaning up. I was cleaning the cars. Now, let me tell you something about habit. So I started doing this shit every week. And rest in peace to Glenn, I would clean out his vehicles. I'd play music, clean out his vehicles, and people will watch me, right? So we had customers that were going to the Giant, because it's a Giant within the parking lot or whatever. And they would see the work, and they asked me, well, how much it costs. Now, mind you, right, this Daredevil vacuum cleaner cost maybe $34 that we got from the fucking CVS. And I spent maybe like $10, $12 on some cleaning products, some Awesome and all that other shit, you know what I'm saying, Fabulous or whatever. But long story short, I was cleaning out, I bought some trash bags, you know what I'm saying, and did a little investment, to clean. And I was making like $15, $16 a car. I wasn't really charging that much. I just did it because the shit calmed my nerves, you understand what I'm saying? But what I observed was that people was like, yo, we always seeing you clean a different car. And I would just do it just for the sake of service for people, because I appreciated them coming into the shop, and I also do service for the shop, and these were customers or even the barbers that work there. So fuck it. Next thing I know, I got a cluster of customers who was paying me $10, $15, $20 and was willing because of the persistence. So I took that $34, right? I ended up making $1,000 off the humble. Off of just going outside and cleaning the cars and people seeing me out there every day. So this is the shit that I'm talking about. I mean, damn. Who would have thought that a simple bucket, water, and rag and a fucking Daredevil vacuum cleaner could make a nigga $1,000? I mean, it was hot, but who give a fuck? I was able to bring that shit home to my peoples. And I flipped it. We paid the rent, took a few hundred, put it in the stock market, took a few hundred, bought some groceries and shit, keep the belly full so a nigga can keep rocking and clocking. I mean, shit. To conduct the service. I'm just saying, it does not take a lot. It just take the effort and willpower to put it out there and to conduct the service and to offer it to people, and people will come to you. So you need a blueprint, inventory, a plan. So we 26 minutes in. I'm gonna have one more. This is Lee Majors, and we shall continue.